Hey guys, so if you want to emulate Windows XP on a Mac, it's basically possible. So in this video is somewhat of a tutorial on how to set up and configure Windows XP in UTM. There's a couple things you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need the UTM program and a copy of Windows XP. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select create a new virtual machine. We're going to go ahead and click emulate. So what we're going to do is we're going to select Windows. We're going to uncheck install Windows 10 or higher and uncheck UEFI boot. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. And I forgot to mention, you got to go ahead and insert your ISO image of Windows. So you're going to really need, if you have a physical copy, you're probably going to have to convert it into an ISO. So I'll be right back. Let me get my Windows XP disk mounted and I'll be right back. Once you got your ISO image inserted, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure this is on x86_64. So what we're going to do is scroll all the way down, and what we're going to use is standard PC i440 FX plus P2X 1996 alias of, this is the one right here. So for the RAM XP, for the minimum, I'd go for 512. But if you want Windows XP to perform real smoothly with the internet and stuff like that, I'd say go for a gig. So, but this is being a virtual machine, we're just gonna go with 512 as the minimum. But if you're gonna put a lot of games and applications in XP, you can change the storage size, because you're gonna need enough storage too for the updates. So with this being a virtual machine, I'm going to just leave this as is. Normally if I'm doing XP, I would normally have it at either 80 gigabyte or 120 gigabyte. Or for the maximum 160. So just for this video, I'm just going to leave it at 64. And you can set up a shared path. So I'm going to just put it for the video test VM. Even though I would name it as XP, so we're going to open up VM settings. And you could change the icon to something. Well, you could change the icon to something generic. But even though this is a virtual machine for the video, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I forgot to go to edit. So you want to make sure CPU is set on default. We want to select Force PS2 controller. And for input, we want to make sure we're going to use USB 2.0. And you can leave this as is. So for graphics, we're going to use the Spice Primary VGA compatible. For network, we're going to leave it as is because it uses the Realtek driver. And for sound, you could leave it as is, or you could use a Sound Blaster 16. So once everything's saved, we can go ahead and fire up the virtual machine. And the Windows XP installation is very much self-explanatory if you installed Windows XP before. So what we're going to do is create a partition. Hit enter. We'll go ahead and install. Use NTFS quick. So once it's rebooted, then you'll be able to get into the actual Windows XP setup. So we'll go ahead and enter your name. So we'll go ahead and click next. And we can give it a computer name and enter an administrative password if you want, which this part is optional. And you want to select your time zone. Click next. Alright, so we're about to get ready to restart. So once you restart, next thing you know, depending on what driver you use for the hardware, for the graphics and the sound, you may get the out-of-box experience and you may not. But we'll hopefully find out and see, depending on this configuration in the video, if you chose one of the selected driver that 86 UTM pass. So we'll go ahead and click OK. Click OK. Because if you don't get the out-of-box experience, depending on what video driver you use, or both sound or video, the thing is you can create a user account manually. Well, it looks like this time we got out-of-box experience, so we're going to go ahead and click next. What we're going to do is we're going to select help protect my PC by turning on automatic updates, because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use a special program to get the automatic updates from Microsoft. And you can skip this part. So we're going to select no, not this time, at this time, because Windows XP, of course, is unsupported. Enter the username that you for Windows XP. So we should be able to get into the Windows XP desktop. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and make some small adjustments. So it's going to ask you that your computer is going to be at risk. So we're going to click this bubble. What we're going to do is going to click recommendations, and we're going to select right here where it says I have an antivirus program that I'll monitor myself. So we're going to, so I don't keep popping up. And to enable clear type, we're going to do that. We're probably going to do that later. So what we're going to do is we're going to install the video drivers. So we're going to click this little CD right here. And what we're going to do is select Install Windows Guest Tools. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into my computer. So we're going to need to eject our ISO Windows ISO. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up UTM-Guest Tools. We'll close out of that. So we'll go ahead and click Next. I agree. And this is going to take a few minutes, so once that installs, it's going to ask to restart, and I'll be right back once this gets fully installed. So once it's all complete, so what we're going to do is make some adjustments to the screen resolution. But if you have a copy of Windows XP that requires activation, go ahead and activate it, because if you're going to be using your XP virtual machine all the time, you want to make sure that your virtual machine is already activated, which you're probably going to have to use the phone activation method instead of the internet, the traditional internet activation, due to the activation service not being active, despite Windows XP being no longer supported, depending on what edition of version, depending on your copy of XP, whether it's Home Edition, Professional, or Media Center Edition. So once the drivers are fully installed, so we can go ahead and make some adjustments that we need. And what I like to do is click the desktop tab and go under customize desktop. What we're going to do is we're going to uncheck run desktop cleanup wizard every 60 days because we don't want that to keep popping up. And what I like to do is also enable clear type by going under the effects category section in the appearance tab and selecting clear type. And this will allow you to have the nicer, make it nice, easier to read, and Then we're going to go ahead and select the highest 32-bit as our color depth. And choose our screen resolution. And there you have it. So once everything's full, once you got all the drivers in Windows XP fully activated, you want to go open up Internet Explorer. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the home page to Google, so we can at least have proof that our network drivers is fully working like it should. So what we're going to do, instead to get the updates for Windows XP, all the Microsoft updates, we're going to go to legacyupdate.net. Depending on your version of XP, well, before you run legacy update, you want to see if your copy of XP is either with Service Pack is installed. So just go into System Properties. See, right now I got Service Pack 1 with Service Pack 3 installed. So if you got Service Pack 2 or older, you're going to need to upgrade to Service Pack 3. So if you have RTM, you can just simply install Service Pack 2 to jump to Service Pack 3. So if you got Service Pack 1, you can just automatically go up to Service Pack 3. Because Legacy Update requires you to actually have Service Pack 3 installed. So what you're going to do is right here, you're going to click on where it says Install Legacy Update. And we're going to click Run. And this is going to get all of the updates that you need for Windows XP. And we're going to go ahead and click Run. And we're just going to leave everything as it is. So then click Install. Because you want to get all the, you want to be able to have legacy updates so you can be able to have all the important updates from Microsoft. And once this installs, I'm going to be right back. Alright, so after it's done running that little installation prompt, after it installs a few little things here and there, so you're going to install some other little things in the mix. 2 little small updates, which of course the Windows Genuine Advantage validation tool, and another little important update, so we can be able to have all the little special updates needed. So once you get all these little updates, then it's going to be able to allow you to be able to download all the updates that you need, and if you have my Office XP or 2003 or Office 2007 or Office 2010, you can then you could basically be able to get all the Microsoft Office updates as well. So we just go ahead and click home, check for updates, and just give it some time, and you kind of get the point. And it'll have all the updates that you need for Windows XP and whatever version of Microsoft Office you have installed, whether it's Office XP 2003, 2007, or 2010 for that matter. And I hope this video is helpful to you guys. And with that being said, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.